Hello and welcome to eBay with Chris. Of course, my name is Chris. In this video, I'm going to show you what sold last week. However, there is a little bit of a twist. I put my entire store on a 25% off discount. Plus, I sold a couple camera lenses that really skewed my numbers. Before we dive into it, I do want to remind you I have a link to my store down below, so you can always look at that if you want to. Also, I have affiliate links to all the equipment that I use down below for your reference as well. Hopefully those will help you out. And don't forget, if you like this content, make sure you like it and subscribe. Now let's go ahead and dive into what sold. Okay, here's my eBay report for the week of November 17th through November 23rd. And right away, as you can see, my sales blew up for the week, and that is driven by the sale of two expensive camera lenses for roughly $500 and $600. They were my girlfriend's camera lenses, and she didn't want to use them anymore. We actually had them posted on Facebook Marketplace. I was trying to avoid eBay fees on these, but they were posted for a couple months. Didn't really have any interest in them, so I went ahead and put them on eBay, and within like a week, they both sold. So they went really fast. Excited about that. Okay, my total sales, if you take out the cameras, my total sales would have been $1,810. And let's go ahead and scroll across here. My selling costs and then my net sales were $1,976. Again, if you take out my cameras or the camera lenses from the net sales, eBay would have paid me $1,071 for the week. So still pretty good. And then you scroll down here to my average sales price per item. It shows $36.28. I love it. That's amazing. However, it's not true. It's driven by the cameras again. My average sales price was actually pretty low because once again, I had all my clothes on a 25% discount in my store, and I'll explain why here in a second. But my average sales price per item without the cameras would have been $23.20. Now let's get over to the quantity sold. 80 items sold, take out the two camera lenses, and I sold 78 items, which is really great. It's basically double what I sold last week. I think I sold 37 last week. The prior weeks I was selling in the 50s. Let me talk about why I put my entire store on 25% off. We are actually moving to Florida. So currently I live in Washington State. We're moving to Florida here in about a week or so. I was like, okay, I need to sell some inventory so I have less inventory to actually move from Washington to Florida. Anyways, I was trying to eliminate some of the things that I'm moving. I've actually already put a number of items into a garage sale just to try and move them locally and sell things locally. But still, I'm going to have about 3,000 items in my store to move. And I'm going to share some videos on that a little bit later. There probably will be some delayed videos for about a week or two while I am in the process of moving. But once again, I'll kind of share that experience with you. What is it like to move a 3,000 unit eBay store? We'll find out. I have plans. Let's see if they go according to plan. Okay, let's take a look at the brands that sold for me this week. As you can see, there's a big long list. Obviously, when you're selling about 78 items of clothing, your list of multiple brands is going to be a lot bigger. Eddie Bauer was the big winner this week. 9 items. I sold probably half of those were like fleece vests. Nike, I sold 6 items. Prana, 4. LL Bean, 4. Lucky Brand, 3. North Face, 3. And then the runner-up brands where I sold 2 of each were Athleta, Carhartt, Columbia, Ex Officio, the Grey's Anatomy, which is a scrub brand, and Patagonia. Okay, in this slide, we can see the breakout of the type of item that sold. So I sold 12 pairs of jeans, which is quite a bit for me. And I think probably 4 of those were actually fleece lined jeans. And then I sold 15 pairs of pants that are not jeans. So that included everything from like leggings to nylon hiking pants. I think some scrub pants were in there. So kind of a good mix of other pants. Shirts was 16 shirts sold. That included everything from t-shirts to button-down shirts. Jackets, I sold 12, and I think 6 of those were actually vests, zip up vests, either fleece or puffer style of jackets, but vests without sleeves. I sold 4 pairs of shorts. Sweatshirts, sweaters, and hoodies, only 8. I was kind of surprised there. I thought I'd sell a lot more of those. But I did sell 5 hats. So that's kind of unusual. I do sell some hats occasionally, but I don't have a lot of them in inventory. And I sold 3 socks. Actually, 2 pairs of socks and 1 box of new in-box underwear. Okay, once again, you can see $2,902 sold for the week. Okay, on Sunday, my total sales $337, and that would have been all clothes. Whoa, look at the total sales on Monday. It looks like both lenses actually sold on the same day, technically. I think one sold early Monday morning and one sold like late Monday night. So they got shipped on separate days. But total of 1488. And if I take out the camera sales of 1,092, that would have put my total sales that day just under $400 in clothing. And then on Tuesday, $254 in clothing. On Wednesday, $212. On Thursday, $136. Friday, $245. And Saturday, $228 in sales. So overall, a pretty good week. Obviously, I'm trying to move a bunch of items, and they're actually selling for cheaper than I would prefer them to sell for. But again, it's better than actually moving them across the country. I would really love for to sell everything in my store real quick. Then I wouldn't have to move any of it, but that's not realistic. Okay, so I have it sorted by total sales. So the most expensive items are going to be here on top. And as you can see, the first 2 items that pop up are these camera lenses. They are Fujifilm. One's an 8mm and one's a 135mm, I guess. I don't know anything about camera lenses, so I really just kind of had to put the information that was on the boxes in the title and just kind of go with that. And again, I researched the prices, and I think the prices that I got for these were pretty fair. Hopefully, if you are a camera seller, what do you think? Did I get a good price on these items? The first clothing item, some Patagonia pants. I love the style on these. These are hemp, and they have a really cool style. Then we have some 7 for All Mankind jeans, some Eddie Bauer snow pants. This Filson hat was really neat and really thick, kind of wax bush hat. Really nice. I enjoyed finding that. And then we have some Hudson jeans, a Marmot jacket, kind of a Gore-Tex rain shell style of jacket. Then I have a Nike Golf puffer vest, a Mountain Hardwear jacket, kind of a sweater actually, a wool blend sweater. Tommy Hilfiger boxer briefs. They are new in package, so don't worry. We have a LL Bean cable knit sweater. Some Jerry snow pants, new in package. These were probably originally sold at Costco. A Bula sweater. This had a Nordic Fair Isle kind of design on it, wool. This was actually the 5th item that I ever purchased for my clothing store. It had SKU 005 on it, so it finally sold. That took a while. I thought that would sell right away. It was a pretty cool item. Then I've got a LL Bean jacket, just kind of almost like a trench coat style of jacket, but it does have a Primaloft in it. A puffer jacket for women here with the brand Jules, an ex officio vest. Look at all the vests that are selling here. I think probably half my jackets were vests. North Face hoodie, pretty basic, just red. Some Prana jeans, flannel lined. A Novara cycling jacket. Novara is a pretty good brand. I've sold a few of their items, and they typically sell pretty well. Here I've got a vintage Columbia t-shirt. It has that trout that kind of wraps around underneath the right arm, and it was vintage, made in USA. Some Prana pants, AG pants, or Adriano Goldschmied pants, the graduate style. Scotty Vest pants. Scotty Vest is a good brand. I will pick up Scotty Vest almost every time. Here we have an Eddie Bauer sweater, women's merino wool. Then we have some Eddie Bauer pants. Look at the color on that. They kind of had this patchwork style of look to them. Kind of different, interesting. I got a Land's End cable knit sweater. I buy a lot of cable knit sweaters. I think they sell pretty well and for a decent price. Here we have a Castelli cycling jersey top and shorts combo set. They're actually attached to each other. That actually sold within about a week of being listed. Some Pendleton shirts. North Face jacket. This was a really super lightweight, super thin running, cycling style of jacket. Lucky brand jeans. Vagos jeans. Vagos jeans always sell for me. They're typically the plus sizes like 18 to 22. Here we have some Athleta leggings. Eddie Bauer pants. An Open Edit jacket. That's a brand that I wasn't familiar with. I picked it up basically new with tags. This Legacy baseball cap is pretty cool because it's waxed. Anytime you find a waxed hat, I will buy it because they're popular. They sell. This one was new with tags. Here we have a REI vest, some O'Neill shorts. O'Neill, I'll pick them up more or less because they're lightweight and they're cheap to buy at the bins. Some Athleta leggings, Eddie Bauer jeans, a Pearl Azumi cycling jacket. I like the cycling jackets. Here we have some Democracy jeans, size 8, an Eddie Bauer vest, another Eddie Bauer vest. See all the vests that are selling right now this time of the year. An LL Bean shirt for women, plaid, cottage core, a Prana skirt or a short-lined skirt, nylon for hiking. Here we have a Prana shirt, men's large, that's green and plaid. A Nike running shirt, blue, an Eddie Bauer shirt, button up. Here I have a pair of Nike running shorts. I found them together. They were the exact same size, so I just put them into a lot of 2. Normally, those aren't worth picking up on their own because they'll only sell for like $7, $8. Some Nike pants. These are like golf pants. Some Arctic rain pants, Storm Gear. They were new with tags. I picked up maybe like 10 of those that were all new with tags, but they're weird sizes like small and 4X. But I figured why not make a listing and see if they sell. A Nike golf sweatshirt pullover, a cool shirt, just a basic shirt. An Ex Officio button-up shirt, a Patagonia shirt, kind of more of a base layer type of shirt. We got some LL Bean pants, jogger pants for women, an Oklahoma State bucket hat, kind of cool. Some Avalanche socks, new with tags. A basic Ralph Lauren shirt, kind of a plaid preppy style of shirt. Some Grey's Anatomy scrub pants. Now, I like to pick up some of the nicer scrub pants and scrub shirts. They do sell pretty quick for me. The North Face sweatshirt, a basic Lucky brand shirt, a 2X size. Maybe that's why that sold. Dickies scrub pants again. Some Carhartt fleece-lined jeans, Y2K style of look. Cabela's cargo shorts. Here's a Grey's Anatomy scrub top. A Greg Norman golf shirt, new with tags, 2XL. Some more Carhartt jeans, again, fleece-lined. The fleece-lined jeans are flying off my shelves right now. A Wrangler shirt, button-down, plaid, pearl snap. Here's a FinTech shirt. This is like a fishing rash guard style of shirt, new with tags as well. Here we have some Columbia pants, an Eddie Bauer sweater. Some socks by the brand Stance. I'm not familiar with them, but they sold within about a week of being listed. Here's a Power Cap beanie. Now, Power Cap is the brand that puts those LED lights in the beanies or in the brims of hats. I've sold a few of these. They don't sell for much, but they sell pretty good. Some Lucky brand jeans. You can see my prices are really getting low down here on the right side, so I'm not making much money on these, but I'm moving inventory. Angel Wings branded t-shirt, kind of a grunge style look. Kind of a cool graphic on it though. Some faded Glory jeans that are fleece lined. Don't pick these up. I had them forever. Here's a Nike golf hat. I picked up like 10 of these new with tags, and they have a corporate logo on them, and they've been selling off slowly. And then I have some Torrid leggings. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and look at 10 to 15 individual items to see what kind of profit, if any, that I made on those items. So what do you guys think? Do you like this content so far? Please tell me in the comments what part of the content that you like. Do you like seeing the overall sales? do like seeing the individual item breakdown, which is what we're going to do now. Before we get into like 10 to 15 individual items, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. I put out videos every couple days, so you definitely want to be notified every time a new video comes out. All right, let's dive into some of these items. Okay, if you've seen my what sold videos before, you know my costs, but let's go ahead and go over this real quick for anyone that's new to my what sold videos. My buy cost year to date is averaging $1.50 per item. I get my items at the Goodwill bins, and that's how I can get them really cheap. I'm paying per pound. I don't like spending very much money on my items. I'd rather go cheap. My risk is lower. I also pay about $1 per item to a listing agency. They help me do all of my listing. If you want to see more information about this listing agency, there is a link below. You can go ahead and check that out, but they're really super helpful. They save me a lot of time, and listing is my least favorite thing to do. So for me, it's worth it. The cost is actually roughly 80 cents per listing, but I just kind of round up to $1 for easy math. Also, operating costs is roughly about $1 per item. Again, that's more like about 75 cents per item. And that includes all of my eBay expenses, like when I need to buy boxes for my storage, poly bags for storage, when I have to buy maybe new labels for printing, or my poly mailers, anything associated with my eBay business. It costs me less than $1 per item sold as far as my operating costs. So when I add all that up, I'm paying roughly $3.50 for every single item that I sell. So what I'm going to do is assume I'm going to go ahead and round up to $4. And so when we're looking at these individual items and whether or not I made any money, we're going to go ahead and subtract $4 from the eBay payout, and that's going to tell you what my actual profit was on that item. Okay, let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, the first thing I want to look at is these Patagonia pants. These are extra small. They are made out of a hemp blend. I use keywords like boho. They're kind of a wraparound pant. I don't know if you can see that in the picture, but they tie at the waist, and these kind of flaps right here actually fold out. If you look at this picture, you can see they kind of fold out like that, and they wrap around the front. They can probably be used for climbing and that kind of thing. I didn't have any condition notes on these items. I listed them January 30th of 2024, so it took them roughly, almost 11 months to sell. Okay, and you can see the buyer paid $44.25 plus $6.25 shipping, so they were all in for $50.50. And then eBay took out a transaction fee of $6.01 and a shipping label of $5.56. So my earnings from eBay, $38.93. Subtract my cost of $4. So I got a profit of, $35 on these. So, that was really nice. Patagonia pants. Okay, next let's look at this Filson hat. Really kind of a cool waxed tin bush Packer safari style hat made in USA. Let's see, no really condition notes to call out. And I listed this on October 3rd of 2024, so it took less than 2 months for this item to sell. Okay, this buyer paid $29.95 plus shipping and tax, so they were all in for $41.04. And eBay, they took out the tax, a transaction fee of $4.96. Shipping cost me $10.04, so eBay paid me $23.70. Subtract my $4 of cost. I got a profit of $19.70. Okay, let's look at this Bula sweater. It's a men's medium gray Nordic knit. Fair Isle is kind of the design you can use. It is wool, and I'm not super familiar with the brand Bula, but I just love the design and the kind of Fair Isle look and feel. I honestly thought this was going to be such a super quick seller. And once again, you can look at the, I don't have any condition notes here, but let's look and see when I listed it. January 5th of 2023, I was a brand new, spanking new eBay seller. I probably actually bought this. Yeah, I bought this at a retail Goodwill store. This was before I started going to the Goodwill outlet, when I was still experimenting with items, but I thought this is probably a no-brainer. I probably paid up on this, probably $6, $7, but again, I was learning and kind of trying things out. But I don't know exactly what I paid, so we're going to assume my $1.50 average buying price here. Okay, the buyer paid $18.75 plus shipping and sales tax. They were all in for $30.91. eBay took out $221 sales tax, transaction fee of $4, shipping label cost me $9. eBay paid me a whopping $15.43. Subtract my typical $4 of expenses. I got an $11 profit on this item. Okay, here I have a Jules puffer vest. I'm not familiar with this brand at all. It does have like a little like bunny in the bottom corner there. So I'm not familiar with the brand or the logo. It is a nice looking vest. It's kind of an off-white color, quilted. Condition notes, there is a stain on the front chest near the button placket and inner back. So see the pictures. I had listed this in May of 2024, so it did take roughly 6 months for this to sell. The buyer paid $20.25 plus shipping and tax. They were all in for $29.77. eBay took out the tax, a transaction fee of $371, shipping $666, and paid me $17.13. So I got a profit of $13. Okay, here's that vintage Columbia t-shirt. It does have a trout wrapping around underneath the armpit. The tail is actually on the back side, as you can see in this picture right here. It is vintage, made in the USA. There are several stains on the sleeve, the front and back, and actually some holes along the hem. I listed this on November 21st. I believe this sold actually the same day or the next day. It was sold as soon as I published it. So it went really fast. I'm guessing that my price was much lower than it should have been, but that's okay. It moved fast and I'm happy with that. You can see I really enjoyed finding that shirt too. It was kind of a really neat shirt to find. You can see the buyer paid $21.75 plus shipping and tax. They were all in for $28.57. eBay took out the tax, a transaction fee of $358, shipping label $462, and paid me $18.50. So I got a profit of $14.50. Now, I don't get a lot of Land's End items, but this is a nice cable knit sweater, and I'll pick up cable knit sweaters as long as they're in pretty good condition. Land's End sweater, let's see, that's it, just cable knit, nothing really special, kind of an off-white color, no condition notes to speak of, and I listed this on April 3rd of 2024, so it did take roughly, 7.5 months to sell. The buyer paid $14.25 plus shipping and sales tax, so they were all in for $25.89. eBay took out the sales tax, a transaction fee of $328, shipping label $835. So eBay paid me $12.57, so I got a profit of roughly $8.50. Okay, so here's that Castelli cycling jersey top and short set. As you can see, they are like connected together. But the top does fully unzip and whatnot. So kind of an interesting set here. I've sold Castelli in the past. This set is kind of plain. It's just basic black, has a couple stripes on it. I do like to sell cycling gear that has better designs than this, but because it was a set, I thought, you know what, let's give this a try. It does have some stains on the back area that I called out in the pictures. I listed this November 21st, so this actually sold within 1 or 2 days of being listed. Went really fast. Maybe my price was low. Let's see if I made any money. It sold for $18 plus shipping and tax, so they were all in for $25.87. eBay took out the tax, a transaction fee of $328, shipping $539. eBay paid me $15.58, so I got a profit of $11.50 on this item. That's pretty good. Usually when you think of North Face jackets, you're thinking like puffer jackets. Well, here is a kind of a running, cycling jacket. I called it ultra lightweight. It looks like basically a thin piece of plastic. You can actually see through it if you put your hand underneath one of the layers. You can see your hand right through it. So it's really super thin, kind of a light windbreaker, rain shell style of jacket. There were no specific condition notes to call out. I listed this on November 13th, so it took maybe 10 days to sell. Not too bad. Let's see if I made any money. Okay, the buyer paid $18 plus shipping and sales tax, so they were all in for $24.53. eBay took out the tax, a transaction fee of $3 and shipping label $4. Total earnings from eBay $15.45, so my profit was roughly $11.45. Vegas is a brand that I'll pick up. They seem to sell for me pretty good, and typically it's more of the plus sizes like the 18 to 22. Here we have a Vegas jeans women's 22. Let's see here. No condition notes to call out. And I listed these in July of 2024. So they took me roughly 4 months to sell. Okay, this buyer got a pretty good deal, $13.50. Shipping was $9.45 and sales tax $122. So they were all in for $24.17. eBay took out the tax, a transaction fee of $309 and shipping label $791. eBay paid me $11.95, so I basically got a profit of $8. Okay, here's a pair of Nike running shorts. They are women's size small. And you can see I found a blue pair and a black pair, and they're basically the exact same style. And so I decided to go ahead and list them together. I found these together. That's actually pretty common. I'll find like athletic gear, like running shorts or running tank tops. A lot of times they're just kind of together in the bins. So I'll find them, and if they're both in good condition and the same size, I'll go ahead and list them together. So there's no condition notes to call out. I did list these September of 2024, so they took about 2 months to sell. And you can see the buyer paid $14.25 plus shipping of $4.95. Now this is for a pair of two. I would not list these individually because again, they're only worth $7 to $9 individually. But it's okay to list them as in a set or a lot of two, and at least get a few more dollars out of them. And so they were all in for $19.20. eBay took out the transaction fee of $253 and a shipping label $462. My earnings $12.05. Take out my costs, so I got a profit of $8. Now here's a Lucky Brand top. It is a women's size 2X. I've actually started to think about getting into selling more and more women's plus size tops. I don't know. Do you guys sell plus size tops? And if so, is there any profit in those items? I was looking at maybe some basic brands like Lucky and brands like that. But in this example, there's not a lot of money here, but let's find out. Again, no condition notes on this item. I listed it in July of 2024, so it took me 4 months to sell. Let's see if I made any money. Okay, the buyer paid $12 plus shipping and tax, so they were all in for $17.67. eBay took out tax, a transaction fee of $2, shipping label of $4 and change. eBay paid me $9.97 to take out my $4 of expenses. I got a profit of $6 whole. I don't know, plus size tops for women, is there profit there? Maybe it depends on the brand. Please tell me in the comments below if you have experience with the plus size tops for women. Okay, here's a Power Cap beanie. It has a LED rechargeable headlamp in it. And I got a message as soon as the buyer received this item. How do you charge it? And so I basically sent them a Google link. I don't know how to charge it. I'm just selling the thing, right? I tested it. As you can see in one of the pictures there, the light works. So, you know, it's up to you as a buyer to figure out how to charge it. But it's not too hard. You just plug it into a regular cord, and it's not a big deal. But this item looks like there was no condition notes. I listed it in May of 2024, so it took me 6 months to sell it. The buyer paid $805 plus shipping $495, so they were all in for $13. Take out the transaction fee and the shipping label costs. eBay paid me $658. I got a whopping profit on this item for $2. Well, what did you think of my sales this week? I know my profits were down quite a bit just because my store is on 25% off. But again, I'm trying to sell as many things as possible because I'm moving to Florida here in about 2 weeks. So make sure if you're interested in how I move all of my inventory from Washington to Florida, you're going to want to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'll share some videos on my move and how that works and everything. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. We'll see how it goes. Once again, there is a link to my store down below. Check that out. Also, if you want to know what kind of equipment I use, anything from my lights on my photo station to my printer, scale that I use, any number of equipment, I have links below for those. Those are affiliate links, and I would appreciate if you use them. Also, if you just want to say, hey, thanks for the content, Chris, you can always buy me a cup of coffee, and there's a link for that as well. I appreciate you guys. I hope sales are going really good for you, and I will see you on the next video.